Passover. The 10th plague is the origin of Passover, a Jewish holiday on which liberation by God from Egypt is celebrated. The word Passover is related to the Hebrew verb pasach, meaning skip over or pass over. On a midnight designated by God, the Israelites marked the lintels and doorposts with the blood of an unblemished lamb, so that upon seeing this blood, the destroyer, Exodus 12:23, sent by God would pass over the Israelites' dwelling places without killing the firstborn. However, when the destroyer passed over the Egyptian houses, which did not have this cross-like mark of lamb's blood, he would kill the firstborn humans and animals within the house. God also commanded the Israelites to eat the sacrificed Passover lamb, roasted with unleavened bread and bitter herbs, Exodus 12:8. Every year, the Israelites were to relive this saving Passover by eating on one day the flesh of a roasted, unblemished lamb, according to the ritual set forth by God, and by eating unleavened bread for 7 days. As Petrie points out, the ritualistic eating of bread and flesh is repeated in another complementary way during the Israelites' journey through the desert when they eat manna, bread sent by God, and flesh of quail. The various types of flesh and bread that God has the Israelites to eat are fulfilled in Jesus. Truly, truly, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven. My Father gives you the true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to the world. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If anyone eats this bread, he will live forever. And the bread which I shall give for the life of the world is my flesh. John 6:32-51. According to the Catechism, Jesus fulfills his promise to give himself as an unblemished, sinless lamb and as supernatural bread and flesh by instituting the Eucharist during a Passover meal, and I quote, "By celebrating the Last Supper with his apostles in the course of the Passover meal, Jesus gave the Jewish Passover its definitive meaning. Jesus' passing over to his Father by his death and resurrection. The new Passover is anticipated in the supper and celebrated in the Eucharist, which fulfills the Jewish Passover and anticipates the final Passover of the church in the glory of the kingdom." Paul explicitly indicates that Jesus gives the Passover meal its ultimate meaning by being the Paschal Lamb. For Christ, our Paschal Lamb, has been sacrificed. 1 Corinthians 5:7.